me again. Got the 107. It sounds like a tractor. Let me show you. Some of you might like that, but it's a bit loud for us. So, what's the problem? Issue is the rear back box. Dead common on these. They corrode right on the joint, break off. Sometimes the bracket, that corrodes and it falls off. So we're going to stick a new rear silencer on this. Let's get underneath and have a look. Get the jack underneath the sill where the markings are there. And we'll jack that up. Get it nice and high.
So I'll get that right up and get the safety lock on. If you've not got obviously a trolley jack, you can just use your standard jack, but make sure you put in a axle stand under there. And again, if you haven't got a safety lock, make sure you use an axle stand. Don't want you getting squashed under it.
Okay. So now we've jacked it up, you can actually see the damage, and that is this here would normally be up there on the rubber bracket, but the pipe that comes out the back of the exhaust there is completely snapped off and it's dropped out. So we just put some wire around it to tie it up to get the thing home. But what we're going to do is stick a new silencer on it. Let's get this one off. First things is a bit of the old rust off. If your rubber's still on there and you've still got a piece of hose attached to it, just give it a little squirt of the old rust off, a bit like on this side here. You can see that exhaust rubber, let's just get a little squirt of that in there and it'll help it come off. This should come off relatively easily. Just give it a, oh, here you go, straight off with it, straight off. There we go, out with the old. And in with the new. Now, I've been talking for ages about putting a stainless steel system onto this. Oh, my can's rolling down the driveway. Oh. Now, I've been talking for ages about putting a different exhaust on this. I didn't want to go for the Sportex again like we did on the Ago, because that didn't last 2 years. It was rotted through. But I'm still looking for a decent stainless steel system at the right price. I don't want to be paying silly amounts of money for it, because it's only a small system.
This one here, I love the look of it, but it's just too expensive.
I've still not come up with an idea. So for now, these are £35. Dead cheap. Let's just bang it on. Give us a bit more time to concentrate on getting the stainless steel system sorted out. Nice and straightforward. If you just want to put a standard system on it, the cheap as chips. The front pipe is about 20 quid. This back box, £35. Absolutely cheap as chips. What we're going to do is squirt a bit of the old lube on them two hangers there. This hanger on this side, this is the one, the pipe comes up and over the exhaust. Sorry, the pipe comes up and over the axle and then onto this bracket here. Now this is the one that always rots through. If yours has literally just broken this bracket off, you can buy a clamp that clamps round with this bracket attached to it. So if your actual pipe is still in a good condition, you can just buy the bracket to clamp and it'll save you buying a new back box completely. But this one's, like I say, it's completely snapped off. It's got a clamp on that on there. Let's get the clamp off the car. So like I said before, if your front pipe, which is this section here, is all okay and it's not corroded. This has got a little bit of rust on it here, but it's not gone through in any way. This bracket here, you could put a bit of rust off on these nuts to get them loose. This one is actually corroded through and it's stretched and broken, look. So that's another reason why it's fallen off and it's corroded through. But like this actual part here is all okay, it's all intact. The clamp itself has got two 13mm nuts on it, which you can just undo those. Like I say, a bit of rust off on them and it'll free it off and help you get it undone. So let's get the new exhaust in. Let's get this end, we'll get that one in first. We'll bring that up, just push it on and it slips in really easy. It goes on easy when it comes off usually. Then we can get the get that in and over the axle, like that. And then we'll do the same with the other one here. We just push that one on, put the nog in there, and there it is. Look, that's the new one in place. Let's just get that bracket on now. I've got the new clamp here. I'll put the links in the description to the Amazon shop so you can get the rear back box and the clamp if you need it. Again, really cheap, about £6. Not bad at all. We just whip one of those nuts off there. This end's got a square captive nut on it, just locks into the clamp. So we're going to feed that round the back of the pipe and put that one into place. So that one goes over the top, just slips into there like that. Just give it a wiggle, make sure it's gone in all the way. We'll slip that round the back there and get that into position. The arm over the top there, we'll bring that one round there and get that into where it needs to be there. I don't want this pointing towards the tank if I can help it, so I can try and keep the sharp bits away from the tank. I'm liking that kind of angle there, is nice. Everything's away from the tank and everything else. And we can whiz these up now, get them up to where they need to be. That's one of them up. On the other side, put the washer on first and then spin the nut up as well. Something along those lines like that. Okay, I'll just go back a little bit on that, make sure we're equal both sides. Okay, I'll get my ratchet on there, we'll whiz that up. Making sure everything's level where we want it to be.
You could drop a little bit of exhaust paste around that joint there if you wanted to make it really airtight. I'm not too fussy though, because this will be coming off in the not too distant future.
We're not going to go mad with it when it's up to it. There we go, that's up nice and tight now, both sides, and that's all clamped in really nice. And that's all good, it's not going to catch on anything there. I can release the safety on my jack and drop the car back down again. Beautiful. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Much quieter, much nicer. So there we have it. Exhaust is on the back. The new back box has been replaced. Car's ready to go again. Really cheap repair. Like I said, I'll put all the links in the description to the rear silencer and the clamp, so you can grab one from Amazon on a prime, come overnight, and you can stick it on if you've got yourself in a bit of bother. If you want to change the front pipe, I've got the video on the AGO which explains how to remove the whole system and replace it and change in the oxygen sensor and stuff like that. So that's on the AGO video. I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Thanks for watching. Please drop me some comments in and like and subscribe.